Hi, I'm back with a video I was meaning to film for I think the past 3 months. Today I will be filming spring reading wrap up and talking about all the books I've read in March, April and May. If you're watching this video right now, you are the best. Please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get on with the video. In March, I've read 3 books. The first one I've read was My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfegh. This book was interesting. This book is about a young girl. She's thin, she's blonde, she has like money, she doesn't have to work. Even though everything like supposed to be good for her, she has like some kind of things going on inside, like a black hole, and she decides that she wants to sleep for a year for everything to change. She goes to a psychiatrist who prescribes her pills, and she does actually sleep for a year. This book, I like the writing, but I had a lot of conflicting feelings about this book, about this character, and I know that probably that was like one of the points, that she's like an angry main character. You don't have to like her, like she's living her life, you don't have to like her, she's just there. But at the same time, I had like a lot of not very positive emotions while reading her perspective. I I can't say I like this book. It was entertaining, yes, but I can say I enjoyed it while I was reading. And the main character, she was like the worst. Through this whole book, she puts herself and others in danger, especially her best friend. And the ending was a bit shocking for me. The 9/11 thing. She was looking at the falling woman and thinking about her friend and the thoughts that ran through her head. I was pretty shocked. After the whole, like, I will be sleeping for a year and everything will be great after that. Did anything actually change? Because it doesn't seem like that. The second book I've read is so far one of the best books of the year. It was Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors, and this book was amazing. This book is about Cleo, who's British but studying in New York City. She's young, she's a painter, and it's time for her to come back to her country. And she meets Frank, who's like in his 40s, older than her, kind of rich, he's kind of serious, and in a short while they get married. Everyone is joking that it's only for her green card and there's no love there, but their relationship is very complex. And I think in the beginning, she wanted something from this relationship, he wanted something from this relationship. I think she wanted some stability, while he wanted something fun. And I think they both got what they wanted, but it's not that easy. Yeah, so their relationship is really complex. They have around them a lot of friends who are very different, and most of them are like not nice people. So this book is about how Cleo's and Frank's relationship change throughout their marriage, and what's going on with their friends. The only two people I liked in this book was Cleo, I think, just because, I don't know, I sympathized with her a lot. But the best character this book has is Santiago. He's like an angel. His chapter was like one of the best. I even cried in the end. This is a brilliant book, while being like tender and funny, because I laughed a lot in the beginning at least. It's really heartbreaking. It has a great depiction of mental illness, of alcoholism. It's a great book. I recommend it to everyone. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I loved it from the beginning to the end, and I can't wait to read Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. I'm waiting. It should be like in my hands in July, and I can't wait to read that. The last book I've read in March was The Murders in Great Diddling by Katerina Bivald. I've read it as an arc from NetGalley. Thank you, NetGalley. Actually, I've read another of Katerina Bivald's book maybe like 5 or 7 years ago. It was called The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommend. It was quite funny and interesting read too. This one is kinda like a mystery. It's about an author who has to write a book, but she's like comes to a small village to get her thoughts in place, and while her agent thinks that she's there like writing, she's just actually not writing because she doesn't want to write the book. Her agent is expecting her to write, and while she is at a party in the village, there's an explosion at the library and one man is killed. And throughout the book you see how different secrets of the villagers start to come out. It was actually quite funny, very cute at times, and the small village vibe was pretty great. The center of this are books, yeah, and how they change lives, and how much people could love them, that they do some interesting things because of them. So if you enjoy mysteries, whodunit, like small village vibes, like cute characters that have some depth in them, yeah, you should definitely give it a go. In April, I was very busy with work and had like much less time to read, and plus I went on vacation. So I read only 2 books. Both of them were arcs. Thank you, NetGalley, once again. And I loved both of them, one a bit more, but both of them were quite good. Both from the authors I did not know before. And the first one was The Grandest Garden by Gina L. Carroll. And it was an interesting read, a bit slow for my liking, and when it was slow it got a bit boring, but it was a good book. It's about a girl named Bella who was like a college graduate, and she moves to New York City trying to pursue like a photographer career, and it goes from the current time to the past time when she was like 10 years old, and the things that were going on with her family are explained, like not fully. Some things we will know only like closer to the end. She has 2 grandmothers who have like gardens. Each of them has a garden, but each garden is very different because, I mean, grandmas are really different and tend to their gardens very differently. This book has a lot of descriptions like flowers and what they're good for and how therapeutic it can be to spend some time in the garden. It was like really calming to read. Yes, it was like a very interesting read. It was a nice read. It was heartbreaking at times because there's a lot of family stuff going on. It's a very beautiful story about like childhood trauma, about secrets that we keep, about like ties that bind us together. I will definitely like check out any books, any other books this author will have. And the second book I've read in April was called Blue Light Hours by Bruna Dantas Lobato. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. This book was very beautiful. I got emotional quite like a lot of times while reading. It's about a girl from Brazil who goes to college, in like in our continent and leaves her mother in Brazil to live alone. Almost every night or every night she turns on the blue light lamp on her desk and calls her mother via Skype. It's about mother trying to live alone, like for the first time ever, and trying to like spend her time only on herself and trying to come in terms with her child no longer being a child. It's about our main character who tries not to feel guilty about leaving her mother like in Brazil and coming to, I think she's in America, and coming to another country to learn, to get a degree. It's like a very beautiful portrait of a mother-daughter relationship. Very beautiful book, very beautifully written. Loved it. And here comes May. I've read five, not five. I've read 4 books. Not 4. I need coffee. I've read 3, 1, 2, 3 books. Hi, Missy. Hi, Missy. I miss you. I've read 3 books. Loved only one of them. May was interesting. May was very interesting. The very first book I've read, I started it in April while I was traveling to UK because I thought it would be like very suiting to start it in while I was in Bath, and I finished it like in the start of May, and it was Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, my very first Jane Austen. I haven't read anything by her before. The only movie like adaptation I watched was Emma. I did not like this book. It was like very mid for me. It was entertaining, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I liked the writing. You know, English is not my first language. It was quite hard for me to read this book at times because there was a lot of like old wording, words, and I couldn't understand sometimes what I was reading about. I still think that I will give like 1 or 2 of her books a chance still because she's a classic author and I want to know what people are like love her for. If you don't know, this book is about like a young girl called Catherine, and her neighbors invite her to visit them in Bath. She goes and she meets a lot of people. Good, bad, interesting, or not really. She meets a girl called Isabella and her brother John, and those two are trouble. Isabella tries to make Catherine and John like be a couple, a match, while Isabella is trying to get on with Catherine's brother, while Catherine herself is like in love with Henry Tilney, I think he was called. Like she's in love with Henry, and she meets his sister, and she tries to like be like closer to them, while Johnny and Isabella are trying to sabotage that relationship. It was entertaining to read, but not always, and I did not like enjoy it. I did enjoy it a bit, but overall, I didn't enjoy the writing, and that affected my view of the book a lot. Sorry, not sorry. Then I read The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I have it here. I love this book. I missed Leigh's books so much. I haven't read the Ninth House duology yet, but I'm really excited to. And this book gave me everything. It gave me magic. It gave me like fantasy. It gave me love. It gave me feelings. It gave me humor and wit. It gave me like powerful main character, and it gave me like moody and very strange love interest, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I saw a lot of people who did not enjoy this book, and I don't really know why. I enjoyed it. After finishing it, I gave it like 4.5 stars. And in the morning when I woke up, I was dreaming about this book, and I was like, that's definitely a 5-star read. And I changed my rating. I loved it. If you don't know about this story, the setting is in Madrid, and actually this book made me want to read more about the history of the things that were mentioned in this book. And it's about a girl named Lucia, and she's a scallion family that she works for. They are kind of rich, but not really, and like the poorer rich people. And the girl Lucia, she has magic, and she tries to use it like very rarely, because people who have magic, they don't have like anything positive things happening to them. And the woman she works for, she finds out that Lucia has some magic powers, and she tries to use her powers to like get in more better place in a social scale. After that, Lucia's world like changes a lot. And can I say Sant'Angelo? Or yeah, I'm not sure how to say his name. Julian Sant'Angelo. I actually thought he was like Saint Angel. He was, he was, yeah, yeah. He was, he was, mhm, he was. And the last book I read in May was the one I did not enjoy. I did not enjoy that book. I got it when I was in Oxford, in Blackwell's. I saw it near the cashier, and since I tried to buy like a book in every like great store, bookstore that I liked, I decided to buy it even though I did not know about this book. I like the cover, and it says here that it was shortlisted for the Booker Prize, and it's A Study for Obedience by Sarah Bernstein. It was a short book, but the one that got me, yeah, I can see I got upset reading it because mostly I did not have any emotions while reading it. I The writing was kind of interesting. It was like a wave of thoughts, you know, and I enjoyed that. But everything else, the plot, the things that were going on, the main character, I did not like that. I did not enjoy that. And it's about our main character who leaves her job, leaves the city she was born in, and she moves like to an unknown country, like far, far away, to like be like a helper to her brother. Like she's the youngest child, and to her family she was always like the person who would do everything. She was like housekeeper to her family, but not like housekeeper. She like baths her brother, she puts clothes on him, she cooks for him, she cleans his house. Yeah, she does like everything for her family, and especially for her brother because he was the eldest. But the relationship is quite strange. Yeah, I did not get like all the things about this book, and I actually like spent an evening googling everything. This book, yeah, it irritated me most of the times because the character, like, she's helping her brother, and her brother like leaves to do some business, and she's left alone. And like some strange things start to happen in the village. Most of them keep happening to animals and birds, and I did not love that. The description was awful, and I did not enjoy that. Why the animal abuse? It was like multiple examples of bad things happening. There was like probably 6 or 7 scenes, and it was like unnecessary. I did not enjoy that. And yeah, the people in the village, they think like that she's the one who's causing it, everything. And the main character, she doesn't know the language of the villagers, and she can't like express that she didn't do anything. this book, that was not for me. I think that probably there are people who will enjoy it, but it wasn't something I liked. Yeah. So that's all. That's my spring wrap up. I'm actually excited to read more because, as you probably seen in my whole video, I've got a lot of books. If you read any of the books I've mentioned, please share your thoughts, share your feelings, because maybe they are the same as mine, or maybe you are not agreeing with the things I've said. That will be interesting to discuss, please. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please give it thumbs up, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Bye!